Hi everyone, I hope you're okay. This is take two if you if you tried to join me on the live earlier on. I was having some technical difficulties. I think it's okay now. Welcome, my name is Claire Fleetwood and I bring you hand-drawn stamps, patterns to go with them, stencils and other stamps, dies, lots of things that you can use in your card making, scrapbooking and other types of crafting. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit of that today. If you're here, pop in, say hi in the live chat. We'll discuss a few things as well. I'll get to show you some of our brand new Birthday Bonanza designs because we've been going for 12 months now. And yeah, let's just have some fun and do some crafting and see how it goes. I'm just going to pop in because we've had a change of website address recently. So I'm going to just pop in the comments now the new website address, just because of my change of name. So it's now clairefleetwoodcreative.co.uk. There's a link in the description anyway. But if you see anything that you like or you just want to have a mooch and get some inspiration for your crafting, you can do that. Natasha, would you do me a favour? Yeah. Would you just check that the stream's working okay? Because I've just got a funny feeling it's not showing. Thank you. Natasha's helping me and they're doing a stock take at the moment. So I'm going to switch to the other camera and start showing you some of our brand new designs. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, hi Karen. Just started. Lovely. So you're all joining in now. Hi, and sorry about the little technical glitches there at the start. Sorry, Natasha, just one more thing. Would you just post a link to the stream for me? Thank you. Right then, so what should we have a look at first? So if you saw my Facebook Live the other day, I showed you all our brand new designs for August, which are part of our Birthday Bonanza celebrations for turning 1. So they're split into 3 bundles on the website, so I'll go through them. Sorry if you've already seen these, but I think it's important if you haven't to be able to see the different designs. So I'm just separating them into the bundles that they come in. As always with us, you can buy things individually. You get discounts if you buy things in bundles, and do look out for throughout this month. There will be other types of offers as well, not just on our brand new birthday celebration stuff, but there's going to be loads of stuff going on, more content, more demos, and yeah, some nice offers for you on, say, previous collections and other bits and pieces, crafty things that you might like. Hi Melanie, how are you? So I'm going to just go through these quickly in case you haven't seen them. If you're watching later on catch up as well, hi, do still leave a comment. I do go back and read them. So you may have seen let me just get rid of that there. I talked about the Frida Kahlo designs. Hi Roxy, how are you? And Frida Kahlo is a painter, and she used to do a lot of self-portraits. She wore a lot of these beautiful floral headdresses, and she was quite controversial because she had quite heavy eyebrows, and I couldn't hear you all chat until now. Oh, right, okay, so it's working now. So yeah, she used to have these really strong eyebrows and have a real strong look, and people used to tell her it wasn't feminine or whatever, and she just kind of did her own thing. So she did all these self-portraits, and you'll see online how wonderful her artwork is and how inspiring she is as a woman. So in this set there's some quotes as well from Frida. Feet, why do I have you when I have wings to fly? And I paint flowers so they will not die, which I thought was lovely because that's, you know, one of the beauties of me drawing and painting flowers as well. You've also got a thank you in there, and you'll notice there's a lovely mix of those fonts like we do very often. And then in that bundle, you've got these lovely layering florals. So they don't look much on their own, they don't really make sense much on their own, but then when you put things together and I'll be showing you how to do that in a little while. You will see how that comes alive and creates this most beautiful kind of blossomy. You can make it spring-like, you can make it Christmassy, you can do anything with it, but it's really beautiful. And then in that bundle, last is empowering sentiments. So you've got empowered women, empower women, love you more, be your own destiny, strength, darling, you are magic, you are limited edition, and though she be but little, she is fierce. So that's bundle one, that's the Strong Woman collection, or bundle. Then there's a smaller bundle. If you just wanted a couple of different ones, these are really, really different than anything I've done before. They're very kind of good vibes. They're very, I wouldn't say hippie-ish. What would be the word? You know, I love my crystals, I love mandalas and things like that. So you've got some crystals with a flower in Crystal Magic here. Trust Your Journey, Hello You, and Wisdom. And that's a great one for colouring in, if you like watercolouring or your pens and things like that. And again, I'll show you some cards in a second. And then you've got this really unusual mandala. Have a look on, is it Leanne? She's done some amazing cards. She's probably going to show these to you as well, where she's done some ink blending and used some of our mask and stencil shapes and created 4 completely different looking cards from just one stamp set. So we all know right now that everything's getting a bit tighter. People are kind of cutting back on their luxuries, and one thing that's really important for me is that you have designs and sets that work hard for you and you can get lots of different looks out of. It's really fun to colour as well, this one. And you've got peace, love, dream. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, and isn't that true? How are you all anyway? You okay? You keeping cool? Is anybody doing anything exciting today? And then the third bundle, so that one's the healing bundle, sorry. And then the third bundle is the smile bundle, which is this really fun, pretty poppy in a small and a large, strength, powerful, and hello. And then you've got this really unusual kind of background where I think it would be really fun in like rainbow watercolours or embossing. You could do whatever you want with that. And then a really cool stencil with just diagonals that you're just going to reach for again and again and again to give you some really fun backgrounds. Natasha started one as well. I don't think she's quite finished yet, but she started a card where she's done like candy stripes of red and green. So that's funny. Not funny, that's good. Nothing exciting today, Roxy. Tired out from a day at the farm yesterday. Oh, that sounds exciting. Washing is out for you, Karen. Kitchen cleaned. Relax this afternoon. That sounds good. So let's have a look at some cards. So this is the diagonal stripes behind the poppy and the pinpoint behind the poppy. Just really easy, fun cards to create. And I'm going to show you how to create the blossoms. What else have we got with the blossoms behind? Oh, there we go. That's a Frida one with the blossom. So I'll show you how to create this effect, which is layered with watercolour and ink and some embossing. So I'm going to be doing that next. Tropical Frida. And you can use this florals with Frida on its own completely. There's no need to have to use it with the eyebrows if you don't want to. They're separate stamps in the pack. Lovely little coloured one with the crystal from Natasha. There's tons more coming from the design team girls as well. We'll do something a bit like this, but I think with the poppy as well this afternoon. So we'll get maybe a combo of these two cards where we're using the poppy, but maybe do this kind of effect. See how we go. So let's start off with the layered flowers, because that's the one where I really need to show you how it works. I mean, it's very straightforward, but it's nice to see things in action, isn't it? Particularly with sets where it's a little bit more difficult to visualise when you've got them in layers. So the first thing I would say is, and I might not have done this myself, so if you have a Sharpie lying around, when you get them home, take them out the packet. I think that's right. Yeah. So when you get them out the packet, they'll be the right way up. So there's only one way that they fit layer on layer. So what I would suggest is get yourself a Sharpie and just mark in the corner, like top left or top right, whatever you prefer. So you know that when you put them back in, you're not going to be going, oh, which way is it? And you're getting it wrong. Just a little dot or something like that would be enough. Melanie's trying to stop my naughty Labrador eating apples from the tree. Oh my goodness. So that's not permanent marker, that's why I'm just taking it off. So it really doesn't matter which layer you use first. You can use ink for the two layers, two different coloured inks. You could use pens and colour directly onto the stamp. You could use watercolours. You can use heat embossing. So I'm going to do a combo of watercolour, heat embossing and inking. Which sounds complicated, but it's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. So ahead of time, what I've done is create just a kind of smooshed watercolour background. So we're aiming for, I'm doing different colours this time, but we're aiming for a similar kind of look to this. And show you how I've created that background, but with different colours. So I need to decide a colour and a heat embossing for each layer. Now last time I did the leaves in the ink and the flowers in the heat embossing, so maybe let's try it the other way around. So I will do just grabbing some powder. One second, I've got a silver one somewhere I want to use. Oops. Yeah, let's use that. That's a silver. That's the silver I used on the mandala. That'll go nicely. So we've got silver, blue, which is a really nice combo. And then maybe let's try, I don't know whether to go this turquoise, that might not show up much. That's too close as well. Let's try a darker blue. Let's try a chipped sapphire. So it's a kind of navy. So what did I say I was going to do? The leaves in the heat embossing. You'll have to excuse the fact that I can't seem to find my anti-static bag at the moment. So if it does stick anywhere it shouldn't, that's the reason why. So I'm just holding this piece of card is slightly smaller than 5 by 7. What have you used for the blue background? Oh, so this was one of my Karen pens. This is a nice blue, isn't it? Oh, it was this one. Turquoise Karen pen, and I just smooshed it on the front of my stamping platform on the front here and spritzed with some water and then just dipped it all in. So I'm just going in with some embossing ink. Need some talc, yes, definitely. So I'm going to go in a couple of times. This is textured watercolour card, so I want to make sure I get it everywhere that I want. Apologies for it's so shadowy in here, the lighting just will not go right when it's this bright. That's good as it is. Just need something to catch the powder. So this bit gives us the leaves and the kind of little centres to the flowers. So like I say, it looks a bit funny when it's on its own, but you'll see once you put the flower petals on top. And it really doesn't matter which one you do first, which layer, they fit together perfectly. So that can just depend on whatever you feel comfortable doing or whatever mediums you're using. Let's heat set that. Karen says, your nails nearly match the background. Yes, they do. I'm working my way through all the blues, I think, at my nail salon at the moment. I'm absolutely obsessed with all the blues. So this is slightly paler than the one I had before, but it's still really nice. I think it's called Bluebell. So let's go on to the second layer. So it should fit just perfectly in one position if I've got it right. Have I now? I think I've got it upside down. That's better. See, this is why. I'm just going to get it because I can't see the lights reflecting. I think that's right. I just couldn't tell whether it was in the right position, but the easiest bit to do is just look, because I've got lights overhead of me, just have a look at the little centres of the flowers, and as soon as they line up, as I say, it'll only be one way it'll work. So let's go in with this darker blue. So of course when you've got inks you can use them kind of just neat as they are. I might want to, because this is an oxide one, add a bit of water to this. Yeah, I think otherwise it's going to come out a little bit too mottled, because it's an oxide rather than just a distress ink. So plenty on, and then I'm going to give it a quick spritz. Obviously, if you're using flat card, you probably wouldn't need to do this unless you want that watercolour-y look. And there we go. So that's created. And I've done 3 layers really there using the watercolour background as well, but it still looks really pretty when you just do the 2 layers of the stamp. Or even I'm going to have a go at one and do it on some coloured card. So two different heat embossings, or some heat embossing and some pigment ink that sits on top of the card. So I'll have a go with some red card or green card or something and see if we can create those really cool Frida Kahlo backgrounds. So that one I'm not going to turn into a card right now. I just wanted to show you how the layers work. I'm going to go on to do one with the poppy for actually my card. But hopefully that's shown you how to work it. You can either, I quite like it with this border round because it's an A6 and that's on an A5 piece of card. If you're doing a smaller card, you could trim round it, no problem. Or you could do two lots next to each other to make it a larger piece. Whatever you fancy. So that's the layered blossoms. Let's grab another piece. And I'm going to heat emboss the poppy. No, I think I'll just stamp it as is. This one's just going to be a flat card. Where do I want the poppy? Let's have it kind of coming off the page a little bit. So I will be adding some watercolour into this background, but because I'm using VersaFine, that won't matter. It won't smudge my ink at all because this is waterproof. But it helps me if I do this bit first, because then I know where my flower is already. Sometimes if you do this kind of look and you stamp the flower after, you can realise that your watercolour isn't quite where you need it to be. So just clean that off. While it's in the stamping tool, I may as well do the sentiment as well. The strength one's really nice because it kind of goes for a lot of different occasions. Sometimes you need to send somebody a card because they're going through a bit of a tough time or something, don't you? Or remind them how amazing they are. And that's a perfect sentiment for that. Nice bold font. Oh, thank you, Roxy. Yeah, it's one of those images where it's kind of like quite simplistic, but it's really, really effective. So to add some colour to that, let's use the pinpoint, but let's make it kind of watercolour-y behind here. So I'm going to do something weird here and turn it upside down. The reason is that I want to be able to use this stamp over here and be able to kind of have the stamp come off the page a little bit. So I need that space, and if I have it butted up against here, I won't be able to position that properly. So I'm going to leave that there. Is that the right one? Yeah, let's go for that. You can even, it hasn't even got to be straight, has it? You can twist it. But I want this big kind of bubble here over the flower. So let's grab another couple of pens. Let's go red, let's go classic poppy red, shall we? And then maybe, should we have two different reds? See how that works. And I'm going to go directly on the stamp with the side of my pen. mixing the two, and I'm just flipping back a little bit just to decide which of the bubbles I want to use. Don't have to use them all, I'm just going to decide depending on their position. I think that looks good. And then just a water spray, just water on its own. 4 or 5 little spritzies. Just give it a second, it's going to move. And then hopefully this will give us lovely. Just going to go back into some places where I've missed a bit, or it needs a bit more water. I know it's upside down right now, but oh, it's this one. It's missed a bit of colour on the side. That's going to give it a really nice watercolour look for us. Let's just clean that off. Don't worry if you use reds, or whether it's pens or inks on your stamps, and sometimes it colours them, look. It's just the pigment in the ink pad or the pen. You can use specific stamp cleaners to get that off if it really bothers you, but it's not going to affect how it works. It's not going to change how it looks when you stamp again, as long as you've cleaned off the actual ink. It's basically just it dyes it a little bit, but it's not a problem at all. So let's just add that to a card with a bit of embellishment, I think. It's a really nice, quick, simple card. And I think anybody could achieve that. If you haven't got these type of pens, I wouldn't worry. You can do watercolour paints straight out of a palette. You can do dye-based inks, so these are my Ulta New ones, or distress inks. The oxides, you can still do it, you just get a more like opaque finish to it, but it'll still absolutely work if you're using these backgrounds. So I'd say even if you've got kind of similar flowers to this, if you've got any kind of solidy background ones and sketchy flowers, you can get that kind of look quite easily. Let's glue that on. In fact, let's tape it on. Yep, that would look great as well, wouldn't it? You could heat emboss that. Thank you, Roxy. Fab way to use it. You could heat emboss the poppy. In fact, should we do that with another one? And do, because we've got plenty of time. I seem to be going at crazy speed today. So let's do another one in a second with a different colour combo and some heat embossing instead. Now, see, I've got some little marks there because I obviously didn't clean that stamp down properly. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cover it with some sequins. Easy peasy. So these are our no hole sequins. And if there's any of the stamps that you see me using today that you do fancy, they are on pre-order. The stock is coming to me next week, so it will be shipped to you as soon as it arrives. We've had quite a lot of pre-orders, so there isn't huge amounts left. I can reorder the stamps, no problem if the pre-orders do sell out before it even technically launches, but obviously there'll be a bit more of a wait then for that. But that's card number 1. So yeah, should we do another one with a different combo and a different, let's do a different sentiment as well. Let's do a sentiment from the Empowering Sentiments. Oh, thank you, Roxy. Always a winner to add a sequin, yes. We all do, don't we? You drip things or your fingerprints or whatever. And to be honest, I would have added sequins to that anyway. Let's chop another piece of card. Just give me 1 second. Just chopping down some more watercolour card. I need to do my usual, where I sit and cut a load of panels already. So I'll tell you what, let's do it as a landscape because I always forget about landscape cards, do you? And should we have it again? Coming off. Let's use the little one as well. Have the little one popping in from over here maybe. Something a bit different. I'm going to have to move that for stamping, otherwise it's not going to get the pressure. So embossing ink this time rather than the black ink. And we'll use that silver again with some different colour pens this time. There's my bit of scrap. I always think the silver looks nice even before it's set. I kind of like that grey. I haven't done much stamping actually with the grey for ages. I used to do that a lot to make it look like pencil sketches. I think I should have a go at that again soon. Let's pop it. Let's heat set that one. Oh, it's really lovely in heat embossing just as it is. And of course you can do your normal colouring as well. You haven't got to do this kind of layered effect. You could just do your normal with your brush and some paints or your pens, alcohol markers even, whatever you wanted to colour with. I just wanted to be able to use this pinpoint background stamp in a different way for you. So let's go. I might have to do this in 2 pieces. Again, I want that big splodge over the big flower. Colour, colour, colour. There we go. these bright pink and purples. Let's see if we can get kind of two to mix. See how that looks. So same, just squiggling on where I want it to go. We'll do some down here, just deciding which bits I want and which colour. Let's try that to start. You can always come in and add more colour after. Bit too much purple on there, I'll mop some of that up. That's not too bad, it's drying in actually. No, that's not where I want it. So if you do that and you just find that you haven't positioned it right, just wipe it off. It's not a problem. And then you can reposition your stamp. So it's this splodge over here this time. I think it's because the purple's quite pigmented. Do that little one over there and one down there. Spritz of water. Bits in there a bit. Yeah, that needs a bit of a clean up. It's not a problem though. Can easily be done. So if you want to kind of dilute a bit because it's a bit dark for you, I'm going to have a go and see if I just put a bit of water on a brush, whether I can move some of this ink around. So it's never a disaster. I mean, it's still pretty. It's just a little bit too stark in some places. So I'm just going to re-wet it with a brush. Where I want it to dilute a little bit. I think I picked two really strong colours and maybe I should have picked one strong one and one light one. And then that will start to lift it. I wonder if we'd dab it a little bit as well. Yeah, that's lifting it a little bit. Still nice, it's still pretty. I wonder if we add some splats. Hi, Steph. So just a little squidge of each colour. And let's use that as an ink then. Bit of water. That's a little bit better. Doesn't feel as stark. Oh, I think I might be losing a bit of connection here. If I lose you, I do apologise. I'll carry on as long as it seems to be just sticking with me. And let's just pop that on a card too. some sequins to finish. So if I am losing you, I apologise. I will post some pictures of these cards as well, but hopefully you've managed to see the full technique of using the background stamps. It does look really pretty with the silver. So yeah, we've just used a plain red one and a pink and purple with 2 different looks. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And as I say, I will post pictures and I will be back very soon on here anyway. I plan to do loads of demos this month for our birthday bonanza. So that's just the poppy and the layered one, the poppy dreams and the layered blossoms that I've used there. But I'll be showing you more and more of all the other bits that are in the full birthday bonanza collection as well. So I hope you have a great day, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.